When it comes to the Dragon Ball franchise, power levels can go from superhuman to godly in a split second. In a world of Super Saiyans, gods, and Super Saiyan gods, the techniques used in the anime can go from over the top to straight up world-ending. But of these world-ending, universe-defying techniques, there are only a few that are considered to be the most dangerous. Anyone who's a fan of Dragon Ball has perhaps asked the age-old question, why isn't the Destructo Disc, or the Kienzan, used more in the series? Throughout the franchise, from DBZ to GT, the Destructo Disc has been used a number of times, some to great effect and others to laughable ineffectiveness. Perhaps the two most famous examples of the Destructo Disc come in DBZ. The first is when Frieza uses his own version of the disc to try and kill Goku, but the move backfires hilariously and cuts Frieza in half, leading to his downfall. The second most famous scene comes when Krillin tries to use it on Perfect Cell to avenge Android 18. However, the disc merely shatters and doesn't leave a mark. Through the time the disc is used, it has proven to cut through almost anything and can be used by a weaker fighter to take on someone much stronger. In a third example, Krillin used the disc to cut Frieza's tail. If Krillin had hit Frieza's body, there's a good chance it would have done at least a little bit of damage. While the Destructo Disc is a potential life ender, it's a common technique used by a multitude of fighters. The move that goes by many names but is all the same. The Special Beam Cannon, Devil Drill Beam, Spiral Death Beam, Doom Laser, or the Rail Beam. Whatever it may be called in the official show or in a fan-based parody, real fans know it as the Makanko Sappo, Piccolo's ultimate attack. The Makanko Sappo has a pretty consistent kill count, being a beam of pure spiral energy, able to drill through just about anything. The first use of this move came in the very early episodes of Dragon Ball Z, when it was used to kill Raditz, who at the time was much stronger than Piccolo. He would use this move a number of times in the anime, most recently during Super, where he used the Makanka Sappo to drill a hole through the barrier during the shield in the Tournament of Destroyers, which was said to be unbreakable. Given this and other examples, we can see that Piccolo's Makanko Sappo is one of the strongest regular moves in the series, perhaps on par with the Kamehameha. However, it's so low on this list because there are moves here that dwarf the power of the Special Beam Cannon. Well, here it is, the most famous attack in the series, and perhaps one of the most famous attacks in all of anime. It's iconic, easily recognizable, and fun to say. An entire generation of shonen fans grew up trying to do their own version of the Kamehameha on the playground when they were young, and thanks to Super, a newer generation of kids can now grow up knowing the move. But despite the Kamehameha being Goku's signature move, a surprising amount of people know it. Just in the main cast, Master Roshi taught it to Goku and Krillin. Even Yamcha knows the move as well as Goku's son Gohan. Being made up partly of Goku's DNA, Cell also knows the Kamehameha. The number of times this move has been used is too great to count. The move itself was developed by Master Roshi and is used by drawing the user's ki to a single point, in between the cupped hands of the user in an explosive beam. Goku sees Master Roshi using this technique in Dragon Ball and quickly imitates it, successfully using the move on his first try. While many people use the move, Goku will always be the poster boy for the Kamehameha. So, what differentiates the Kamehameha Wave from a regular Kamehameha? Well, for one thing, it's much more powerful than the regular attack. There have been many versions of this attack over the course of the entire franchise. From Master Roshi's single-finger Kamehameha in Dragon Ball to Goku's use of the instant Kamehameha in Super. However, perhaps one of the most powerful uses of this Kamehameha Wave was in DBZ during the Cell Saga. It was nearing the end for everyone, and it was between Gohan, who had just reached Super Saiyan 2, and Perfect Cell. It all came down to one attack. One massive Kamehameha that met and tested the two fighters' mettle in a match that would determine the fate of the universe. The thing about Cell was that in order to destroy him for good, Gohan had to defeat both Cell and the nucleus inside of him to make sure he didn't regenerate. So, this move couldn't wound, it had to kill. It's because the resulting destruction utterly erased Cell from the face of the earth, making sure not a single trace of the perfect being existed to ensure he could never ever come back, which puts this move above the regular Kamehameha. With these next few techniques, we'll be looking at some that, while they may not be automatic killers, are extremely powerful. We'll put these next couple of entries under the magic category, as they're powers that go beyond the strength and power levels and have very strong effects. The first we'll get into is the Mafuba, or the Dark Containment Wave, or Evil Containment Wave. This move isn't meant to kill the target, but is meant to contain them in a jar, or pot, or rice cooker to be sealed away forever. In DBZ, the Mafuba was used on Garlic to seal him away. The move gets a lot more screen time in Super, when Trunks tries to contain Zamasu using the move. In the Tournament of Power, Roshi uses the Mafuba on Dekuri, and Vegeta even has the move used on him. Once a being is inside the container, they can't escape on their own, and the jar or pot or rice cooker must be broken in order to free the victim. In the franchise, there's no said limit on who this can contain, so theoretically it could contain any given fighter, even a god of destruction, though that might require some more debate as to how strong a god of destruction is. Continuing our trend of magic transformation, we look to a lesser-known villain in Dragon Ball, but this one has a power that could theoretically destroy anyone in the known Dragon Ball canon. Simply known as Boss Rabbit, this character can turn anyone into a carrot simply by touching them. It's sort of like the Midas touch for rabbits. In any case, we see that by simply slapping his hand, Bulma is turned into a carrot. While his appearance is brief in the manga and anime, we don't get any further context on the power of this carrot ability. Since Boss Rabbit isn't a fighter, he wouldn't survive long against someone like Cell, Frieza, or Vegeta. However, if he managed to lay one finger on them, poof, they would be turned into a carrot. One of the more hilarious villains in Dragon Ball with an even more laughable costume, Devilman may not look like much, but, and this is a big but, he may have the only true one-shot kill move that can destroy any evil villain, the Devilman Beam. While we don't see this beam being used on anyone of significance, if the description of the move is to be believed, the Devilman Beam destroys anyone with even a trace amount of evil in their hearts. Based on this vague description, that could basically account for anyone in the entire show, good or bad. So, Vegeta, gone. Cell, dead. Even people like Roshi, Krillin, Bulma, all dead and gone if the Devil Beam actually does what it says it does. However, there's one person who canonically doesn't have an ounce of evil in him, and thus, the Devil Beam has no effect on him. We're talking about Goku. Yep, turns out Kid Goku is a paragon of virtue in this vast and evil world. Once again, there's no further context into who exactly can survive unless they have no evil in their heart at all. So, just like Boss Rabbit, if Devilman was a more formidable fighter, he'd be higher on our list. Now, one of the more powerful magic users on this list comes in the Buu Saga. Dabura is a powerful demon with a number of spells and abilities. He ruled as the Demon King before coming under the wizard Babidi's control. Dabura has existed for thousands of years and is Babidi's right-hand man during the Buu Saga. Out of all of his abilities, the one that proves the most powerful is his spit, the Stone Spit. If Dabura manages to land a loogie on you, your flesh and very being will be turned to stone. Like the transform abilities we mentioned earlier, there's no escaping being turned into stone. Once you become a statue, you'll remain like that until Dabura is defeated, which is how Krillin and the rest get free from their stony prison. However, what separates Dabura from the rest is that he's a formidable opponent already. Being the Demon King and Babidi's right-hand man does give him some elevated power though. Now we have to take a look at what a lot of people have called the worst Dragon Ball show in the entire franchise, perhaps second only to Kai. Dragon Ball GT was a pretty abysmal show by a lot of fans' standards, and is largely regarded to be outside the original canon of the show. The main antagonist of the show is perhaps one of the more forgetful antagonists, or rather, one fans would like to forget, Baby. Baby was created by Dr. Mew, and is on a one-track goal to revive the Tuffle race and eliminate the Saiyans. Throughout the series, Baby poses as a huge threat, taking control of many of the Z-Fighters' bodies through his assimilation technique. This allows Baby to infect and take control of someone, and it seems like he could take over anybody. He mostly sticks to taking over Vegeta, finding his power to be the greatest during GT. While Dragon Ball Z is full of moments that would be called epic just by their sheer absurdity, there are few moments in the show that truly encapsulate the word epic. However, one of Vegeta's finest moments and display of sheer, raw power was when he delivered the final flash. In this move, Vegeta summons up all his might, literally changing the world around him. Clouds move and mountains crumble as lightning shoots off as discharge from his massive energy spike, all pointed at Cell. In an instant of raw fury, Vegeta unleashes the final Flash, an attack with enough energy to utterly destroy the planet. The blast connects with Cell, destroying the surrounding area and shoots off into space, probably destroying some other planet far off in the distance. However, for as powerful as it is, for how much energy was poured into it, the blast doesn't kill Cell. In fact, Cell would go on to regenerate and defeat Vegeta easily. Still, with as much energy as Vegeta put into that attack, it could have destroyed the planet. We'll look at some more moves, though, that can take out a planet by much more powerful beings. Finally, we're coming up on the last of the transformation spells, and this one is from one of the most powerful beings in DBZ, Majin Buu. Perhaps the most powerful of the transformation magic is Buu's Candy Beam. As the title suggests, the person hit by this beam is, you guessed it, turned into candy and eaten. This move is a mixture of transformation magic and Cell's absorption move, as Buu becomes stronger each person he eats. In the show, the only time it was deflected was when Evil Buu blew the beam back at Fat Buu, turning him into chocolate. So it wasn't so much blocked or avoided as it was deflected back at the sender. Not only is this a devastating move that can work on all fighters, but Buu himself is a powerful foe that can dish out punishment. If left unchecked, Buu would eat everyone in the world, literally just like a kid in a candy shop. Up until Dragon Ball Super, Dragon Ball had lacked a Fist of the North Star quality character, one that could dish out a whole bunch of quick jabs and punches, declare that, before the victim even feels it, they are already dead, and then explode in a volley of energy points and crumble to the floor defeated. That character is Hit, one of the stronger fighters in Super, and the final fight in the Tournament of Destroyers. Hit is an odd fighter, possessing the ability to skip and stop time itself for very brief periods. This makes him the perfect assassin and an excellent fighter. In the tournament, he easily defeats Vegeta and nearly beats Goku with it. What's also interesting is how he uses this ability to strengthen himself. Unlike Saiyans, Hit doesn't get stronger by training or being put in near-death situations. Instead, he'll simply skip to a time where he's stronger, and that'll be his new power level. While Hit can only be so strong, someone like Goku or Vegeta could use that ability to become unstoppable, as the only people who could still track his movements were Beerus and Champa. A classic, if there ever was one in Dragon Ball, Frieza's one of the baddest villains in DBZ, and so popular that he was even brought back for Dragon Ball Super. Frieza has a lot of deadly moves that can kill. He has his finger laser attack, his ability to transform, and for the very weak underlings, he can simply lift them up and blow them away with a clench of his fists, like he did to poor old Krillin. However, the move we all know about, the one that can easily destroy a planet, is his Death Ball. Frieza's Death Ball came in a few different forms, but it's the attack he uses to destroy planets. In one flashback, his Death Ball was giant and was used to destroy planet Vegeta and wipe out most of the Saiyans. During the Namek Saga, the Death Ball he used to destroy Namek fit in his palm. This one gave way to the 5 longest minutes in anime history, spanning several 22-minute episodes. While Vegeta's final flash also could have destroyed a planet, Frieza's Death Ball can be used with a lot less effort on Frieza's part. Perhaps that just showcases the power level differences between Frieza and Vegeta, and why he's never beaten the freaky alien genotype. So far, these techniques can be described as life-endingly powerful. However, the few techniques we've seen can even destroy planets or entire solar systems and galaxies. Of course, the people who've performed these techniques have ranged from superhuman to Super Saiyan, but there are beings even beyond a Super Saiyan's grasp. In Dragon Ball Super, we're introduced to the gods of destruction, beings who look over a particular universe and whose main function is to destroy. Every universe has one, and along with being incredibly powerful, they have a signature type of energy, Hakai energy. In the past, we've seen planet-ending techniques that take a great deal of power and could easily be the fighter's strongest attack. However, Hakai energy seems to be a common tool to the gods of destruction, as they can destroy an entire planet without using up any significant amount of energy. In the anime, we've seen Beerus use it on several occasions to destroy a planet, and 2 instances of him merely willing a powerful being out of existence with a wave of his hand. Even a ghost, that's right, a spirit of the dead, can be destroyed by Beerus. So far, we've covered very strong attacks, magic that defies the user's strength, and transformation spells that turn people into food. We've even looked at attacks that could destroy entire planets. But this last technique puts all others to shame by a wide margin. There, of course, is a being above Beerus and the gods of destruction. We're talking about Zeno, the god of the multiverse. Zeno is a being beyond comprehension, whose power makes the gods of destruction look like mere mortals. Yet Zeno is portrayed as a simple child, with Toriyama having a sick sense of irony. However, Zeno's still at the top of this list for the simple reason that he can end all existence of any universe. We see him use this universe-ending techniques in Universe 10 in Dragon Ball Super to destroy Zamasu. We don't see much of this technique, but the urgency is apparent when Goku and the gang need to leave that universe pronto, or they too would be destroyed along with Zamasu. What's perhaps the most chilling is that it looks like Zeno isn't even exerting that much energy to destroy the entire universe. Those were just some of the most powerful techniques used in the various Dragon Ball anime. Do you agree with our list? Which techniques and attacks would you say are more powerful? Let us know in the comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe to CBR for more Dragon Ball content. Thanks for watching.